nice big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Oh my.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and yes, just like that intro there, they gotta have each other's backs, the usual circle, the usual suspects in regards to the salty batch files, because, man, we have some more examples of how they just have each other's backs, right? In regards to misinformation spreading, and you name it. And yes, the theme of the game here is, of course, still the fallout for PlayStation 5 Pro and other methods as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like usual, we're going to start off with some posts. I actually have a few videos to share today as well, which is absolutely ludicrous at this point, so tag along for that. But first and foremost, we're going to get some more drawback in regards to Phil Spencer's talk, the red line and all that. Now, Ryan McCaffrey, most famously known for being the Xbox shill on IGN and basically shill GN at this point. He states, as you can see, very upset, this is why we're getting a Gears of War prequel instead of a Gears of War 6. This is why we're probably going to get a Halo 1 remake in Unreal Engine 5 or a reboot instead of Halo 7 or Halo Infinite 2. Elder Scrolls 6, if it was ever exclusive, it's probably not anymore. You know, I think, we'll break this down, right? First of all, I think Ryan is correct here, as upset and salty as he is. He is very upset here, knowing that, yes, I mean, there's some truth to this. For once, Ryan is speaking a little bit of truth here, and he has no choice but to speak that truth. But we're going here stating, of course, they're not getting a Gears 6 is probably why. That's exactly why. They're getting that prequel. More than likely, that's going to be hitting other platforms as well, as many as it can, you know, muster in and get that new audience that maybe is missed out because of all these sales. You probably played Gears 1 through 3. If you moved on from Xbox 360, odds are you never tried out the rest of the Gears series, whether they be good or bad, or to each their own. Continuing on, he's also correct. If they're doing a Halo 1 remake in Unreal Engine 5, or just a straight-up reboot, instead of course, continuing the series as Halo 7 or Infinite 2, whatever direction they want to go with that, that's also a very big red flag, especially when he came out, he, meaning Phil Spencer, coming out and stating that yes, there is no red line when it comes to first-party games, or even Halo going to competing platforms such as PlayStation, right? And then of course, let's tag along to the Elder Scrolls 6. I think if this ever was exclusive, it was in the very, very beginning talks of when they acquired ZeniMax as a whole. After that, I think it became abundantly clear, especially after the release of Starfield, that they need something else. They need more. They need something else. What is that something else? That's something called green money for most of us out there. So yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. I can only imagine the holes in his walls that he's been punching in regards to typing this out. Under bated breath, under gritted teeth, you name it. He was not a big fan of typing this out, I guarantee you. But of course he had to, because it's coming from his workplace, IGN.com, of course. So just wanted to share that with you. Something you're going to see once in a rare blue moon is A, Ryan McCaffrey stating something of truth, and B, him having to admit the truth as well. So, let's continue on here. Now, this is a great one here. I was talking about how everybody has each other's backs, essentially, within that Xbox circle, but every once in a while, the PlayStation 5 Pro has everybody up in their fills, and they just kind of turn on each other. The pressure is high, the stress is high, you name it. So they do what a normal rabid dog would do, is turn around and lash out at each other. So, risk it for the biscuit here. He states, of course, as you can see, well, at least you don't sound like an 80-year-old woman on this video. And he's referring to context, a video of Gaz going on about some of the truths of going on. And once in a while, Gaz will do this, but then he retorts and goes full shill, Xbox shill, and all that stuff. But he didn't like what Gaz had to say at this point in time. He couldn't take it and move on and just roll his eyes. He had to say something here. And then, of course, Gaz burning him back. Well, crying in a car sounds worse. If you've been following along this channel, I do have many videos ago risk it for the biscuit, holding back those tears, mustering like he lost a loved one in regards to the first time that Xbox announced that the first 4 games being Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, Sea of Thieves, and so on and so forth, coming over to competing platforms such as PlayStation. He wasn't having it, so that's kind of the context behind there, but you got to see that little back and forth tug of war, civil war, if you will, between the two. Again, high stress. They can't take it. They lashing out at each other. You gotta love it, because both are kind of right. Gaz does sound like an 80-year-old woman screeching all the time. It hurts my ears. It's definitely a chalkboard. And then on top of that, yes, we're gonna probably see Risk It crying some more. But that's just fair warning there. But you can see the saltiness between each other. They can't handle it. You love to see it. I love to see it. But let's continue on here. So, Nico here. Nico. He states, per the ad from Xbox here, as you can see, console war is literally over, ... and that is awesome with the cool emoji. So, at this point in time, this is what's great. I mean, he wasn't too far off from just returning to full-on Xbox shill, of course, but he tried to tweak this as a win, right? The console war is over. It's been over for 10 years. Xbox has not been close ever since the 360 era did reside. The Xbox One era was not competition. The Xbox Series S and X era is not competition. They failed to do so. They pivoted, they went to Game Pass, that failed, so now they're going full-blown third party for the most part, and it's all but one announcement away, just like Sega. That's just the way it is. If things change in the future, I wouldn't have seen that coming. I just don't think they can correct course at this point. I think the very minimum, they're going to have a day and date with Xbox and PC, and PlayStation is probably going to have to wait anywhere from 3 months to 12 months out in regards to games going forward, new IP, sequels, you name it. But I see that getting shorter and shorter, of course, as well. But just trying to make peace with this. Do we see that it's over? It's over, guys. That's what's going on. It's over. We're not trying to compete here, guys. It's done. Console war's over. We can have fun now. No, he's still at it. He's still upset. He's even upset at this time of recording, the Game Awards announcements, stuff like that, which we're going to have a video, of course, on that sooner than later, of course. But just wanted to share that with you as well. You love to see it. They're trying anything. They're throwing anything to stick at the wall to make sure that they come out with some sort of a win here. But let's continue on to our last post here. Now, Colt Eastwood, he's not having it with the PS5 Pro. He's not having it. The PS5 Pro is a scam. It's $700, but giving 2024 performance at what would be $550. So again, he's lying. He's lying. That's what Colt Eastwood does, or, Colt, C-U-L-T, Cuck Eastwood, whatever you want to call him. He is not doing well with this information of PlayStation 5 Pro doing well. He likes to spread a lot of FUD here. Now, we're going to get back to Colt here, but before we get back to Colt and being a part of a Gaz situation here as well in regards to the video, let's quickly shift focus to Frogboy here. Now, if you followed Frogboy on social media, he's definitely an Xbox shill. He's tried to be an Xbox refugee over to the PC Master elitist group there, if you will. So we have a couple quick videos here on how he shifts and changes his tune in regards to PlayStation 5 Pro. Go ahead and take a look here.
I don't know. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to run the same on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. I don't think Xbox is going to go out of their way to give you a PS5 Pro version.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Dude, it's not even sold out, bro. Nobody cares about the PS5 Pro. And if they do, they're too broke to get one. So it doesn't even matter. $700, that's a waste of money. I'm not going to lie to you. I like the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think it's out. I think it's awesome. I have zero issues with it. I have zero regrets. I'm actually freaking ecstatic that I bought it. I'm ecstatic that I bought it. I'm like, because I was on the fence. I was like, dude, I don't know if I want to buy this. I don't know. I've got a PC. Do I even need it? And I'm glad that I bought it. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to run the same on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. Today I'm going full pony on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So let me explain that though. Let me explain that because I want you guys to have the proper context for why I feel like the PlayStation 5 Pro would have actually possibly prevented me from going full on PC Master Race.
All right, and just like that, you see how quick they changed their tune? They see what's going on there. I don't know what else to say in regards to how quick they changed that tune. He was so adamant about it. He's coming up with this false equivalencies that it's too expensive. That's what we were hearing about the narrative. It wasn't going to be that powerful. There's no reason to get it. This, that, and the other. And then turns around and loves the system. That's what most Xbox fanboys would do if they sat back, put the tribalism aside, actually tried a great ecosystem and system in general for a console and realize what it has to offer. They would be a lot happier. I don't understand the tribalism. If Xbox was giving me 100% better quality and consistently, I'm either going to be shifting over there or I'm going to be owning that system and be part of that ecosystem in general. It's that simple. All fanboyism aside, all preferences aside, it's that simple, folks. That simple. Put the tribalism aside, and that's what you're going to have. You love to see it. You love the flipperoo. That's what most of these Xbox fanboys and Xbox refugees do. So, love to see it. That being said, before, again, we get to Colt and Gaz here, we have another video. We got Mr. Boomstick and the gang here. Man, this is just really pathetic. But before we get into it, go ahead for your viewing pleasure or, at this point, displeasure. Here you go.
PlayStation gets Xbox games, but Xbox doesn't get PlayStation games. That's for now. Yeah. That's going to change. Why is that going to change, Pete? Money. Because if the $3 trillion company is trying to get money from here, there, and everywhere, the billion-dollar company who just took a $400 million bath on Concord, who spent $3.6 billion on a failing Bungie, and a Destiny that no one's playing, and a new game that no one knows what the hell it is in Marathon, and no one actually gives a shit about, they're in trouble. They have closed 6+ studios in the last couple of years. They're going to want this.
Look at this quick example.
Sure.
Square Enix. They used to be the PlayStation exclusive driver, right?
Yep.
And after a while, they saw that it wasn't working out for them in their best interest. So what did they do? They got rid of the guy who was an ideologue that was continuing to facilitate that negotiation in their CEO. And now every news article is about how they're going to release it day and date everywhere.
All right. So as you can see there, what do we take away from here? The highest takeaway from me, first and foremost, that we just need to get out is, do you see how easy it is for them to just lie, spread misinformation, and try to just encapsulate this bubble of delusion? It's really sad to see, and they believe it. They're not trolling. They're not joking around. He has the most serious look on his face when he's spouting this nonsense, and then his cohort chiming in at the end about Final Fantasy. But as we go on, Sony's not hurting for customers. They're not hurting for budgets right now. They're not hurting for any of that. They're not in a situation like Microsoft is. They didn't put all their eggs in one basket with Game Pass. They didn't put all their eggs in one basket in another direction either. They're doing okay. Could they do better? For sure, but they're doing really, really well. So as you can see there, they just put that false narrative out there. It's absolute insanity. And then, of course, his friend chiming in, talking about Final Fantasy and it not doing well enough. It's not going to do as good as it should do elsewhere. PlayStation has always been the prime place to play Final Fantasy games, and that's where it will remain until the foreseeable future, until things shift in the gaming medium. But that has nothing to do with PlayStation or Square Enix looking and going like, hey, they're changing it because they know the landscape is changing and they're trying to squeeze out as much money as possible. It's probably cheaper to get those ports going. If those ports and those sales don't become lucrative enough as opposed to getting a timed exclusive deal with PlayStation, they're going to revert back to PlayStation and timed exclusivity in regards to their games. It's simple as that, folks. So if you do want Final Fantasy to stick around on your ecosystem, I suggest you buy those games in those ecosystems, because if not, you're going to not be able to play those. on your ecosystem, at least right away. Simple as that. I'm not going to spread the FUD around for you like these guys, Boomstick and the gang there, but just really pathetic example of what they're trying to shoehorn in here. Now, to round it out, the biggest thing I got to do here, like I said, this is Colt in regards to having a conversation with Gaz, of course, and reading off a response from a viewer. Before we get to it, take a look at this nonsense.
Oh my god, here we go, Face with a $20 super chat. Cole Eastwood, in your video, Xbox Series X upgraded. Why didn't you fix your mistake? You said Monster Hunter Wilds will only run 30 FPS on all consoles, but it has performance mode on FPS 5, Series X, S, and the Pro.
Shut up! Shut up! No, I'm just kidding. Because, fix my mistake. You can't fix YouTube videos unless you edit them and re-upload them, and I could have pinned a comment, but I didn't know it had a 45 FPS performance mode. I don't count that as a performance mode at all. That is a that is a joke. 45 FPS? No, get a PC. No, if it can't run over 40 some, no, that's not going to count. And if Grand Theft Auto 6 gets a 45 VRR mode, no. It needs to be like, come on, it's not the 1970s anymore. We're going to play games at 60 FPS. And so, yeah, I didn't fix that mistake because my assumption was it was only at 30, which is where most people are going to play it. And, Digital Foundry might say they prefer to play the game at higher quality at 30 and more stable because that 45 FPS mode was all over the place. But that was the best part, Face. That was on the screen. I had the analysis showing it running at that bullcrap 45 FPS mode, running all over the place, which is horrible in a game like Monster Hunter Wild. So, yeah, it's basically locked at 30 in all truthness of the truth. So thanks for the 20, though. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so I want to laugh at this. I do. But at the same time, do you see how he just makes excuse after excuse, right? And I get it. I know. I'm making content as well. If you're changing something, you'd have to re-edit the video, re-upload the video. That takes time. That takes away the views that you had previously. No one's going to go back and re-watch it. But again, what he should have done, could have done, he alluded to, he should have pinned something at the top like, hey, I was wrong. This is actually what it's running at. My apologies. Whatever the case is, whatever he wanted to say, to kind of show that he wasn't being a full-on idiot shill and lying to his audience and everybody else, right? Nope. What does he do? You can see the video down there, guys. This is not doctored. This is not photoshopped. You can see down below Monster Hunter what it's running at frames per second on the base PlayStation, on the Pro, everything, right? You can see this happening, and he continues to go on to lie more. Well, I didn't know it was, going to be over 30, but that's really shoddy 45 frames per second, and it's just all over the place. As he's saying that, and you can rewind this video and come back here, as you can see, it's a stable 55 frames or so on PlayStation 5 base model. It is a pretty consistent 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So people can easily fact check Colt all the time. And this guy has a ton of followers and subscribers. So I don't know if anybody is aware that he's lying all the time. Why do you follow somebody that lies all the time? I'm so confused. To me, I'm trying to unravel that. Do you like to live in delusion? You have the facts right in front of you. This is not Photoshopped. This is not anything. Why are we still following people like this? And then there's those unfortunate casuals or unfortunate people that do live in that Colt Eastwood bubble, and maybe a couple of others where that's the only place that they get their sourced news for gaming. And if that's all they see and they believe in that, that's the information that's a problem to not only gaming in general, it's a problem to their so-called Xbox ecosystem and platform because they're lying and they're going to see different varied results. They're going to go to their friend's house and they're going to see how well that Monster Hunter Wilds is running possibly on their PlayStation 5 base model or Pro, and they're going to, figure things out. I mean, they're going to feel like somebody's lying to them, like that's not right, or, that placebo effect. where it's like, yeah, it's not running that good. What Colt said was right, and as I can see in my eyes right here, he must be right without doing a lick of research, right? It's a problem. It harms all sorts of things, and it's not going to change. These lies are not going to change anything or the situation that Xbox has put themselves in. You can lie every day through your teeth. The reason that he's probably lying, just an FYI for those of you that don't know, is because of this thing that we've talked about before called grifting. He's grifting and he's luring them in. Earplay. He makes things sound good. He makes your delusion amplified. He does all sorts of things, and that's why he does it, but mainly because of the grifting and that income, that sweet income. If he was to be honest, he's going to lose those delusional fanboys. I have to say that 20,000 times. He's going to lose that audience, right? And he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be honest. But to sit there, the thing is, like, if you want to grift, you can grift, right? You're going to grift, and I don't give a pass to that. I think it's bull crap. It's not going to work out for him in the long run. You know, it's going to be passed down. He's going to be looked at as a joke in the long run. When a legacy comes back and you're looking at content creators and you're looking at the successful ones and everything like that, you're going to look back and be like, this guy was a clown. His legacy is destroyed. His credibility is destroyed. And that goes around. If he has kids, if he has family, that tags around. Hey, you know, your dad, your uncle, your whoever was a complete clown and he lied all the time. Man, you lost my respect. He's a bozo, and they're going to have to either agree or disagree, however they go about that. But there's just a lot to it, right? But it's just so weird that you can't even, when you're grifting, you can't even turn around and say, yeah, here's the facts. My bad. He could have lied and been like, you know what? My bad. I was looking at some other feed and it had those, but apparently not. So I just kind of retconned that, you know, going forward, this is what this is. So my bad, right? Leave it at that. He doesn't even do that. He just doubles down and continues to lie, all in the name of grifting. Grift Colt, Eastwood, whatever you want to call him. It's just insanity at its finest. But that's why we're here, folks, and that shows how salty they are, is when they continue to lie as well, to make themselves feel better, not only their audience but themselves as well. But you love to see it, but I don't love to see it. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. At least it gives us content, right? So I do appreciate that, I guess. But that being said, we'll wrap up the video here. Would love to hear from you all down below in the comment section. If you leave a like, both those things help out the algorithm, and I do want to hear your feedback about these just consistent grifters and liars. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. What do you think would change anything in regards to these grifters? I would love to hear from you and your thoughts below. That, in conjunction, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. That does help me out. We actually hit the 2,500 sub goal by the time this recording does go live. Thank you all so much. Absolutely amazing. I know we can continue to push on. The truth is there. We're having fun with these. We're going to do some news. We're going to do all sorts of other stuff. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for being part of the community. It means so much to me. That being said, we'll wrap up the video. Like I said, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.